Hey guys, Retro Ralph here. Thanks again for joining. So in today's episode, we're going to tackle part 2 of the Street Fighter IV Arcade1up modification. Now I will truly admit that this thing is still a work in progress, but I felt like right now was a good time to at least check in and give you guys a quick progress report of how this thing is going. So sit back, relax, and enjoy
Street Fighter IV.
Okay, here it is, guys. I'm ready to do the Street Fighter IV overview. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top and go down. So the top, I have a custom marquee, and I got the graphics printed for that. So I'll have links in the description of where I got that from. But all that really is a vinyl decal over the stock marquee. Now, what I would suggest if you do this to your 1-up, and you could do this to any arcade 1-up just to kind of customize it, is you sand down the original graphics before you put that on, because these are really meant to pass light. So they're really meant to be in a lit up marquee. So they're a little bit thinner than a normal sticker decal. So you would see the old graphics through it if you didn't sand this down first, the back side of this. Actually, you can kind of see, I haven't done that yet, so you can see the old Street Fighter logo there. So this was kind of a prototype. I was just trying to see how it looked, so I'll be fixing that at some point. You'll also notice as we kind of back away from it a little bit, you'll notice that the side graphics are still the same. I'm waiting on some vinyl decals for the side that match the marquee and the control panel. As you step into the front here, you'll see I haven't replaced the stock monitor yet. If you guys have any suggestions there, I've done a 19-inch modification that I'm going to film a video on that's actually for my Neo Geo. I don't know that I want to do that for this one. I kind of want to see if I can squeeze in a larger display. So we'll see where that goes, but I'd be open to hearing what you guys think and what comments you might have, because obviously that's an unfinished part of the modification so far. So as you go down, you'll see there's the control panel with custom graphics on that. I only have 2 screws in it right now. You'll notice that because I've been working on it and opening it up, so I didn't want to put all 4 in. I put different joysticks, so I swapped out the stock joysticks, obviously. I also put different buttons and microswitches in there. You will notice the player 1 is upside down right now, and that's because one of my ground wires isn't long enough, so I had to put it upside down. So you'll see that right there. So it's kind of funny, but we'll fix that soon enough. So there you can kind of see the control panel. So you're probably wondering what these 2 buttons are below the control panel. So these 2 buttons are actually for coins. So I put those in for coin 1, coin 2 on player 1 and player 2. Okay, so getting to the coin door, this is a fully functional coin door. So I'm going to open this up so you guys can see what this looks like from the inside, and I can talk about how to wire this. So when you're wiring a coin door, it's actually the opposite of a push button. So these push buttons are in the normally open position, and then when you push it, it goes normally closed. So that will register as a button press in the game. These are a little bit different. So this is actually the only thing in here that you're going to wire to this other pole right here, and that's the normally closed position. So this is going to be normally closed until, let's see if I can get a coin, until a coin passes through it, and then it will register as a coin press. So I'm gonna show you this working in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of show you what the mechanism looks like. And then if you look here, and keep in mind, you may not want to do a coin door. If you want, they sell fake coin doors that look exactly like this, and they even have light up buttons here usually, but they don't actually have this mechanism. And as a matter of fact, you could take this mechanism off if you really wanted to. Sorry it's all dusty. It's because I was cutting this and I didn't really clean it up before I shot the video. So basically how I have this wired is I only have this wired to the player 1 button. So a button press or a coin will register as a credit. I have a little thing I'm working on where I'm going to wire it to both buttons so that when you actually put in a quarter, it registers as a credit for player 1 and player 2. I really didn't want to have 2 coin slots. It takes up a lot of room in these little cabinets actually, because if you look from the side, look how far that sticks out. that does stick out quite a bit. So anyways, really excited that this is fully working, and yeah, that's the coin door. And if you notice in there, people were asking me, well, where are the coins going? If you notice, little box may look familiar. I was trying to figure out what could catch the coins, and I decided to take the Arcade1up printed circuit board out of the back of this, so that is an original piece from the Street Fighter II. I just took the printed circuit board off from behind the monitor and used it as a means to catch the coins. And I used double-sided tape just to stick this thing down. But it's good because it gives you that traditional arcade sound when the coin drops. So it's kind of nice. Everyone loves that sound. But anyway, so that's the coin door, and I'm gonna turn it all on so you can hear it functioning. So let's swing around the back. You'll see around the back, it's not pretty right now. I just want you to know that. We'll start from the top. I'm gonna redo this. I was trying something out here, and I'm not a big fan. So speakers do sound good here, by the way, because the sound will reflect off your wall if your cabinet is up against a wall. So if you're looking for a place to put your speakers that maybe isn't front facing or on the control panel, this works well as the sound reflects off the wall. The only problem I'm not liking about it is I don't like the way it came out. It's kind of sloppy. So I'm going to actually repaint this and go over it. And I'm actually thinking about I'm going to take a hole saw and put larger 5.5-inch speakers here. I mean, to invest this kind of money in a cabinet like this and not have it sound great is kind of a shame. So I will be doing a part 3 actually of this series, where I will go into how I plan to do that, and probably film it too, so you guys can see what I'm doing there. All right, so as we go down, this is nothing new. However, I use a different, we'll move these speaker wires out of the way. Like I said, I haven't cleaned it up yet. I use a different LCD controller board than the one that ETA Prime recommends, and I'll tell you why. So the reason why I like this is that you can run a remote control. So what I've always been trying to achieve with these is there a way I can control the volume of the game without like drilling another hole in the front or running a control knob? Now, the remote connection is right there. I don't like it there. I just haven't figured out where I'm going to put it yet. I'm probably going to tuck it in somewhere in the front because it has to have line of sight to the remote. But if you look, before we continue, I'll show you how you can control the volume. So right now you don't hear anything, and if I press the volume up, I kind of think that's a cool way to control the volume. So you could potentially shut the whole cabinet off with this too, with the power button. I don't have it wired that way. I do have other systems that are wired that way though. So this is a cool idea if someone's looking for a solution around that. All right, so we'll move down a little bit. So that's the controller board. I have links to all of this stuff in the description. So you'll see, I haven't cleaned this up yet. So my coin door, that was the genius idea I came up with at 2 o'clock in the morning, is I have these sort of wooden blocks that they're for hobbies and projects and stuff. And I actually put them on either side of those sort of mount screws to hold the coin door in place. I'll have links in the description of how you cut out the coin door in the front. I think there was another YouTuber, Detroit Love, who did a video. His is pretty detailed, so you could always go and follow that to figure out how to put the coin door in. I think several others have also done this modification. So apologize for all the wires. Like I said, I haven't cleaned any of this up yet. I'm going to make it look pretty as soon as I'm done, but I wanted to kind of get you guys a basic level progress report here. So, okay, so that's that. As we move down, you'll see, if I can get away from the wires, you'll see the amplifier for the speakers. I just have it sitting on top of the arcade board right now. I'll probably end up moving that at some point or mounting it. And then if you move down, you'll see, the arcade board that I did a video on before, and then the arcade power supply tucked right in the side. So obviously I'm not going to keep it exactly like this. I'm going to modify it, but you're probably wondering, well, how does all this stuff turn on and off? So everything is wired to this power strip right here. And then if you look, I know this isn't clean either. I have these TP-Link devices. These are controlled by Amazon or Google. So I like these because I can just voice control it on and off. I know there's debates back and forth on whether you want to do this or a switch. I really like those, so that's what I'm going with. Another little thing that I kind of noticed, I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this or not, is when I get wire ties and get this all tight and nice, the riser box actually becomes kind of an interesting place to store excess wire. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do long term. I may just shorten the wires and do something else with it, but I kind of like the way you can tuck away the wires like that. And I did want to mention, I'm going to do a video on how to wire an arcade power supply, because I think a lot of the modifications people are using things like Raspberry Pis, so you may not want to, you may not know how to mess with those. So I want to make sure I make a tutorial that you can know the basic information to wire one, and then, you know, as you use them more, you may want to, learn more about the electrical aspects of it, but I'll give you enough to be dangerous. So anyways, as you take a closer look at the box here, you can see tucked behind the wires, there's some dip switches there. In the manual that this thing came with, there's dip switches to set specific settings, like how much a coin, is basically how many credits, one coin is how many credits in the game, things like that, the hardness level of the game and stuff like that. So there's some dip switch settings if you want. And yeah, that's kind of it from the backside. I think the other thing that I will show you really quick, and I'll do a deeper dive video on it, is how I'm getting the controller board to control the audio, is that this Street Fighter board passes audio over HDMI. So when you go HDMI into your controller board, there's an audio out. So basically, when you go into this board, it now has control over the audio, and all I'm doing is just taking the audio and passing it to the amplifier. So you set the amplifier to like maybe mid-level, set this knob to maybe mid-level, and then you can just use the remote control, like I said, to control the audio. So I think it's kind of a cool solution. You guys may want to do this. Another thing that you could do, and I'll do a video on this at some point too, is if you made the controller board your master in a master controlled power strip, you could effectively turn on and off your whole entire cabinet from this. So, because what would happen is when you turn the power on here, it would then tell the power strip to power on any of the other controlled outlets. So that is a good way to maybe have your cabinet powered up all by one button. So I know there's various different solutions there, but I think that's a good one as well. Okay, so let's swing around front one more time. What I'll do is I'll put the volume up here a little bit. So give me 1 second. So I want to show you guys the coin door operating. So if you look, it says 0 credits right now. I'm going to hopefully hold the camera up as I put a coin in. So if you look, there's the coin going in. And there you go. So fully functional coin door. But also, if you press the button, over here, if you press the button, you get credits that way too. So I'm pretty happy with the way this is turning out so far, guys. I really wanted, there's a couple of parts that are coming. The monitor is coming. Even though I said I didn't have a solution for it, I filmed this in 2 parts. I actually have a monitor coming, so that's going to be new to me to try to fit a much larger monitor in one of these, but I'll see what I can do there. All right, so I'm going to show you guys some gameplay real quick, and then we'll wrap this video up.
Which one of these two will walk away a champion?
The answer lies in the heart of battle.
Let's get started. Fight!
Yeah! Wow, I must be doing well for the camera, because typically that's not how I roll.
Victory is mine.
Perfect! Pick up the pace. Fight!
Come on. Hey guys, that about wraps up the Street Fighter IV Part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really have had fun with this modification, so I hope you guys gained a little bit of insight from it. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments section below, and I will absolutely try to answer each and every one. So if you enjoyed the content of this video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and hit that notification bell so you can be informed of future videos as they're released. And if that's a wrap, then Alexa, shut off Street Fighter. Okay. See you guys next time.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Game over.